So I applied and got approved for the crypto earning credit card by Gemini, but then they snatched it away. I'll definitely get into what happened in my instance. At the same time, it really was a real use case where I got the card and I had a plan for my overall Bitcoin investing strategy of how this comes into the whole mix. Apart from credit cards that are there for cashback and points and miles for more airlines and hotels redemptions, there's also this angle as well where you can earn crypto for each and every dollar spent. I luckily still have access to the app where it has my card details and kind of what the post-approval experience looks like. So I'll demo that for us. With that, let's get straight into it. Typically, this card has no intro bonus offer. And for me, when I applied, I signed up when there was no offer as well, with the understanding that the longer term earn rate is where the value was to be had. Depending on when you're watching this, at the current time of recording, till December 31st, 2024, if you are approved by this date, there's a $200 crypto bonus you get after $3,000 in the minimum spend in the first 90 days. Now, right before we get into the earn rate, a simple overview of Gemini is that it's basically like a Coinbase. You can buy crypto, you can sell crypto. It's basically a place where you can manage everything crypto. And the reason to use one platform over another really can come down to fees, user experience, certain features that maybe Gemini has that others don't, and vice versa. So with that understanding, this card, what it offers us, looks like this. Right before I get us too excited, the numbers we're about to go over are the percentage we get back per dollar spent. Yet there's some limits when it comes to like monthly and annual spend, which I'll get into shortly. So with that understanding, here it is. We get 4% back when we're spending on gas, as well as EV charging, 3% back on dining, 2% back on groceries, and 1% everywhere else. The cool thing about the rewards we earn with this card, unlike typical kind of credit cards where, hey, you spend and after the statement closes and processing, you're basically waiting for your points or miles to come back to you, generally speaking. With this, the rewards are deposited into your account instantly. More than that, you can switch out the type of crypto you're earning per dollar spent instantly. So for example, if I have like a big purchase, let's say I'm like, all right, I want to earn Bitcoin on this purchase. And then, you switch it over to, let's just say USDC or the Gemini dollar or XRP or Ether or what have you, right? So you can basically say, I want this type of crypto to be earned in, when spending not just on category, but like on specific purchases. So right before we get into the hands-on demo of how this actually looks like and kind of the things you can do with the app and the card, essentially for me and how this comes into my overall kind of investing strategy and just credit card strategy overall is the following. For me, I've always been personal finance savvy, where I love credit cards, points, miles, that angle. I also love the stock market and crypto markets and like the trading side of everything and making money and all of this, macroeconomic, how it affects the daily and vice versa. So point being that with the Gemini credit card, it's basically a mix of all these concepts. So it was like a fun product for me in general, but more than fun, like actual hands-on value, it really comes down to the nitty-gritty of just comparing what value are we actually getting. If we break it down, it will become super clear where let's say I have a cashback credit card. Let's say it's earning me 2% everywhere. Nowadays, 2%, there's actually a lot of products that offer it, but 2% is not that bad. And if it's, let's say, 1% everywhere, that's fine, but there's a lot of no annual fee 2% options. And so in this fashion, you could have 2% catch-all for all categories and still get, maybe 3% on certain other type of categories or 5% in rotating categories every quarter where they can switch out. I mention this because when you compare cashback now to points and miles, if we look at, let's say, first class or business class in terms of flights, that's where a lot of value could be had from this cents per point. In other words, if you get a $5,000 flight, you spend 100,000, points or miles. If each of these points or miles are worth 1 penny, then if you have 100,000, that's $1,000 worth of cash, but you're getting a $5,000 worth of experience with the same level of, that $1,000 equivalent. The question always comes down to, hey, would you spend 5K on your own for this experience, or do you value it maybe at $2,000? So even though officially it is 5 cents per point in terms of value you're getting, where if you divide, $5,000 in terms of pennies is basically 500,000 pennies, divided by 100,000 points or miles is where you're getting that 5 cents per point kind of math. And so if you're willing to pay 2K, then basically 200,000 pennies divided by 100,000 is that 2 CPP or 2 cents per point. When it comes to everything cryptocurrency, markets are volatile. There's a lot of fluctuation, especially depending on where we are, not just in the economic cycle, but like the crypto cycle. Point being here is that let's say there's some coin arbitrarily, right? Let's say you're earning X amount of coin, and officially speaking, maybe it's, we're spending with the Gemini card, 3% back on dining, And, if you have, let's say, any other card, even a no annual fee version card, you could get 3% cash back, at least on these dining categories. But the intent would be like, all right, hey, this crypto, we're earning it today at 3%, but if it, and I'm not saying every crypto has to 10x, right? But even if it, let's say, 2x's or 5x's, and if you don't have any, real use case in the short term, you can just kind of keep on, hodling your crypto, then basically you're earning it today at 3%, like officially. But if it 5x's, it's like you were earning 15% back on each and every dollar spent today. So simply put, it's like you're automating kind of investing in this fashion, and it's in smaller chunks. The cool thing about that is maybe you don't need to do, a bigger chunk order to dollar cost average into whatever cryptocurrency you're buying. This way, it's kind of like, oh, it's a part of your lifestyle. Like it's always ongoing. So that itself is like a cherry on top. And yeah, there's a gamification point to it, but really it's like you're earning crypto literally on each dollar spent. And if that's what you're looking for, then this product is actually very fantastic. So with all that out of the way, this is basically, like the unboxing equivalent. And the reason is I got this card, like I actually got it, but the problem is like I basically don't have an active account anymore. And so with that case, like this is how it looks like, just from like, kind of the front kind of view over here. And then on the back of this paper, it basically says, it's probably going to be inverted over here, but I'll read it as, it's upside down too. So invest when you spend, welcome to the future. And the back of the card, I'm happy to show it to us basically. So this is me taking out the card, and it basically looks like this from the front. And I'm going to show us the back, because the back has essentially, nothing in terms of the information other than my name over there. And it looks like this. So it's pretty sleek. I'm just going to drop it. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see. Yeah, it's not like the cling clang metal of the Apple card, but it's a nice card, man. So anyways, with that, let's get into the app. So here we are in the Gemini app. And as you can see, card account suspended. Your Gemini credit card account is suspended. And then eventually when to close the account, your Gemini credit card account is closed. So I'll get into the T over here in a sec. So here we have temporary credit card limit, current balance. The quick context is I wasn't able to use this card. Basically, I got it physically, and then there was, what I'll get to here in a second. So details will show you the card number and otherwise. Settings is where I'm going to navigate to in a second, but just to show us here, total rewards, basically all-time performance and all-time earned. So all-time earned, the cool thing over here, if we click this, so all-time earned is the USD value of rewards at the time they were dispersed and does not reflect current crypto market prices. So in other words, you could have, I'm just making it up, like 1 BTC in there, the all-time earned is going to reflect the value of when it was earned at that time versus what BTC is trading at right now if you just earned a BTC and no other kind of crypto value. All-time performance is exactly how it sounds like. So hey, you earned when Bitcoin was, let's just say, towards 50 grand and now it's 100. So basically, that double up is what it would show, like all-time performance on that crypto that's earned. So with that said, as you go down, you can share your Gemini card, and what this means is it's not a referral link. It's more of, hey, you can add up to 5 family members or trusted individuals, and then you can track their spending by user, where on Chase's side, for example, not trying to bash them, but if you have authorized users, you can't delineate, oh, this person spent X and that person spent X, because they have the same card numbers, and it's really frustrating. You can build credit together here, receive more in rewards, add or manage users, and anytime from card settings. Over here, they have merchant reward offers. Basically, like other merchant offers that exist, basically you can spend on certain merchants and then get this amount back, and it's in crypto, which is basically the whole point of this card. And transaction statements, there's nothing here to show in general. So here, for example, current earning in Bitcoin. So I can press change this, and let's just say I want to earn in Ether, right? Change reward. Do I want to do it? It will take place for all future transactions. I say confirm. And like literally that's it. It's so easy that boom, it's done. And so if I change it now, I can just change it back to BTC, in general, confirm, and I can toggle back whichever way I want, like not like a limit of 1 or 2, whatever. And if I had rewards, they would show up over here. So navigating into the card settings, this is the caveat I wanted to give of the 4%. So it's 4% on gas and EV charging, but the way it reads, it's a little confusing. So it's like $200 a month or $2,400 in spend per year. So in theory, if let's just say you had more than $200 in that gas category in a month, my understanding is it's basically a cumulative $2,400 in spend where you get that 4%. If you exceed that 2,400, then it defaults to 1% everywhere. Then 3% food dining, as we discussed, bars, restaurants, food, 2% groceries. So basically not your wholesale stores, for example, like Costco, Sam's Club, like this. But yeah, that's what this looks like. So what happened to me in my situation, it should be an edge case. It shouldn't happen to you. There's no way to prevent it happening to you. If it happens, it happens. And I don't know what to say. So obviously you can see I'm kind of dismayed by all of this, for lack of a better term. Anyhow, before getting the card in the app, there's like a screen, and it'll say like, hey, like you're, pre-approved basically, for getting the card, or check if you pre-qualify. I think it was something like this. So they don't run your credit. They just kind of do a soft check, and it's kind of like, hey, they may do a hard check, and they'll say like, all right, hey, if you're, pre-approved for this or pre-qualified, whichever the language, this is what you're looking at. Here are the terms. You accept it. You kind of go on. To my memory, it was something like this. And the reason I mention it is 2 times I wasn't actually pre-qualified or approved for this card. It was like literally, if I were to apply, if I could, like I wouldn't get approved. So in other words, I got denied, is the way I look at it, like 2 times over, if not even 3. So I really wanted this card. Clearly, I also have a very high velocity of like applying for cards. So like maybe that, definitely doesn't help. It's like credit seeking behavior is how they look at it. But I mean, I'm not seeking it for the wrong reason. It's just, it is what it is. So with that understanding, eventually I got the card, and then I got hit with the, hey, prove that it's actually you, kind of like security, which is maintained by a third party, which is what's important here. It's not Gemini, but whatever third party they're doing their security verification. And I've done it for multiple crypto kind of brokerages, if you want to call them platforms, and just other features in our, financial fintech kind of world. So I don't know what happened here. Basically, I was, I prove my identity, show my license, give them whatever they need, and they would just get back to me with, okay, yeah, hey, no worries, you're all good to go, whatever, right, what have you. But like it wasn't working out, and so they would basically say like, hey, you need to respond by this date or else it's not happening. But I would submit my information and then nothing happens. And so like I open tickets with them. Customer service. It's not like you can call someone like get answers. So the point is like, over time, eventually it was like the date's coming closer, and I'm like trying to give in this security verification. So lo and behold, I think you know where the story is going. Basically, whatever happened on their side, like I wasn't able to kind of get to the next step. To my memory, it was like a 2-factor authentication code that I'm supposed to receive that I wasn't receiving, to then prove to the next step and to move on to the next step. So whatever, man. Like at this point, I mean, I didn't even give up. I was like, I don't want to lose this card. Like I got approved finally. I'm happy to have it. So long story short, it was me proving that it's me. But I'm like, dude, I'm already a Gemini customer. So the frustration I have is like, I'm already a customer with you guys. Everything's great. So like, it's me. Like, but you can prove me, or prove like, not just for my card, but you cancel my card, but you still have my account active. So it's like, I'm me, but you're not like blocking my whole account, just a card. And so that's my real frustration, where like it's not like an all account overhaul. And maybe it's a good thing. Obviously if you have like funds with the platform or brokerage, you don't want to be locked out. So I get it, but it shouldn't happen to you. That's a story. But this card is actually like not bad at all. Like if it makes sense for you, like it makes sense. Like what's wrong with that? And I think it's a great way for folks to dabble into the world of crypto if they're not already into it. Because hey, you can earn a few rewards, but you don't need to spend, hey, I'm gonna dollar cost average, $200 every, week or whatever, and I'm gonna have this much amount. Like, no, you don't need to do that. You can just earn a little and see if you like it, or you can have like stupid choices. Like, if you believe in certain type of the smaller altcoins, you can kind of have this be a hedge where you have like some altcoins earning just by your normal spending. At that point, it's up to you. What does that value mean to you? But everyone's different. This card is great, guys. Check it out. I'll leave a referral link in the description below for the platform. It's not for the card. I really think they're great. I used to make videos about them, for many years, and even before this card came out, there's a video from longer back, from the beginning of, just posting videos on the channel. So with that, thanks for coming to the end. Longer outro here, but really appreciate you guys. Peace for now. See you in the next one.